I'd like to call the meeting to order for
Okay,
February
No,
6th,
no,
2024.
I'll let them know.
Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna open up for public comment. So
And I do not
use the
see-
hand function.
And I do not see any members of the public online. So we can,
Okay. Should we move on and go back?
we can. If someone pops in, that's not a big deal. We can just go
Okay.
back.
You'll let me know. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Presentations. Do we have any presentations for tonight?
None tonight.
All right, okay. Administrative, number 1, to review and approve the November 8th, 2023 meeting. Oh, no, sorry. Apologize. Okay, so we're gonna amend the rule of procedure.
So we do this every time we have a new chairperson.
Okay.
We're just revising the chair to be Amy Palumbo, our new Board of Ed liaison. I did add in that in the absence of the chair, the Board of Education liaison shall serve as the chair. Previously, the Board of Ed liaison was Patty, so she had been the previous chair as well. So we just did it that way. This is more formalizing it. So if the current chair is unable to make the meeting, the Board of Ed liaison will serve as the chair for that meeting.
I'm
Okay.
confused. Amy, are you on Board of Ed or Town Council?
I am on town council.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the board at Marty Skelly.
Okay.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion to approve this?
Yes.
To amend it? Okay.
Yeah.
Can somebody make a motion to approve the amended rule of procedure?
Can I make an editing comment first, or do I have to do that after?
Do it as part of your motion, Stacy. Yeah, you and I had talked about it, so just do it
Okay.
as part of your.
I make a motion to approve it, but can we change chairman to chairperson throughout the document instead of, yeah.
So we can do a
What I was
second.
supposed to say?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I have it as chair or chairperson in my.
Yeah, I have it as chair too.
If you go down though,
It might be down here. Yeah,
there's other parts
Oh.
that chairman,
Okay.
chairman,
Sorry.
chairman.
Right.
could have been something that we fixed on the first page and never did the second page. So
Okay.
Thank you for that.
And I just have one comment to make. The chairperson is not an administrative official with directive or operating authority, so other members should not burden the chairperson with expectations of getting things done. I sort of thought that was just a little bit odd wording.
it's
I
the wording
understand.
it's the wording that we've had for a while, and I think it's kind of a generic town wording, because it's a committee and not a legislative commission. I think that's what the reasoning is, because ultimately anything has to go, any time a fund would be expenses has to go to the town council, or any kind of ordinance or regulation change would really be drafted and done by staff, and the chairperson serves more as the overseer of the committee.
Okay, it made me laugh when I read it. So,
All right, and do we have a second?
second.
All right,
Okay, then the motion is approved.
all those.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Anybody opposed? Okay,
All right,
motion, go ahead.
6-0, motion passes.
Yep. Okay, the next thing is to approve the meeting minutes of December 5th. Did anybody have any comments on the minutes? No? Okay, so we'll need a motion to approve the minutes from December 5th, please.
Motion.
Second.
Anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Oh, sorry. My name is N with an N. Quin is in Nancy. B.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bree.
No, that's
Oh,
all right. Everybody makes that mistake. So
Let's see, anything else? Okay, so that motion will carry.
Yeah, that's a minor administrative thing. It doesn't really affect the
Right.
substance of the minutes, so that's fine.
Okay. Item E1, the public education goal for anti-idling status update.
I know Kate just logged on. Stacy, have you talked to Tara at all recently?
I'm
Or Kate.
not involved
Hi
with,
there.
yeah.
Hi, Kate. We're just talking about the anti-idling. Is there any update on that with Tara, or is that kind of
Oh,
because?
yeah, actually, I do have an update. I met with her the other day and she is going to write something up for us so that we could put it on the town website. The other thing, they finished that whole process. You know, they sent out, the kids gave out the little cards that have all the anti-idling information. So that particular segment of their curriculum is done. But we talked about trying to expand this to the grade schools because, you know, K through 4, because that seems to be where a lot of the idling is happening. Because the data that she collected really didn't show a lot of idlers. Thank you to, Johnny and Patty for going over there. Stacy, did you go over? I can't remember if you went over as well, but to collect data. But anyway, so she's going to look into whether that's feasible, for next year potentially. But the other thing is having the kids. She was talking about potentially having the kids at Westwoods create these cards that they send to the grades, grade schools, so that they could distribute them to their parents. So it's about where it's going, but it's definitely going to stay in the science curriculum for Westwoods, and then potentially the program will expand into all the 4 grade schools. That's it.
Thanks, Kate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, move on to waste reduction goal. Is there somebody who's going to report on that?
Oh, sorry. I think we had talked about this at the end of last year about a Adopt a Road program. I'll send out the research I had done with the minutes, so everyone can take a look at that and start looking at the programs that other towns have, and deciding if it's something we want to move forward with in Farmington. So that way I can start drafting up an ordinance that would go to town council ultimately. So it's just a SharePoint folder, so I'll just send that out again when I send out the minutes later this week.
Garrett, I've been trying to find some student to take this on as their senior project, and I reached out to Porters, I reached out to FHS. I feel like this is a perfect concrete project for a senior, but
Right.
tumbleweeds. So sorry.
No, it's no problem. It's not all the background stuff is not all that flashy, so I can understand why it might the end product, we get the signs and everything like that, but all the setup work is really obscure sometimes. And I, as someone that's been doing it for several years, it's pretty hard to understand a lot of the ordinances and everything that other towns have to start. So it'd probably be a little difficult for a high school student to wrap their head around as a whole project. But yeah, well. And then the other one is composting.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to Sam Patrick, but I'm assuming Kate or Stacy has an update.
I do. Yep, I have an update as well on that. And Stacy, I don't know if you do. Stacy, do you have one too?
No, I do
Yes.
not.
Okay, I do. So Tara Vasquez is in charge of the project over at Westwoods. And it's moving forward. She's getting the bins created right now. They're they're specific for being able to separate landfill from recycle from compost, right? So there's 3 holes for this thing. And then she's also put something out to the kids so that they become they get a special designation as basically they stand at these bins during the lunch hours or lunch moments, and they direct the kids as to where to put things, and they oversee it, and they get special designation. They get to, go in the food line first. There's some benefits to being this person, and they get a special little tag that they wear, etc. And so she's working on all of that right now. While these bins are being created, the staff at the school are all on tap for this. And they have a designated spot that can be locked so that keep bears out and whatnot, to store the compost. And Blue Earth will be doing the composting. So this is moving forward. It's going to happen. It sounds like it's probably going to start in March. So we've got our first test case.
Good.
That's it.
Great, thanks, Kate.
Okay. G, other 2024 townwide cleanup.
Can I just say something about composting?
Sure.
Great. I wondered if the Green Efforts Committee had ever looked into doing a town-wide composting effort. I would love to get something like that going. West Hartford has a pilot program going on right now, I believe, and 41% of what Connecticut residents throw away is food waste. And West Hartford had already, as we do here, had a composting program going on in their schools. But I just, Blue Earth, I don't know if anybody's using Blue Earth, but you fill up your little green bucket and you leave it out by the side of the road every other week. I happen to do it on the same day that my trash and recycling go out. So, and I think it would benefit the town of Farmington, one, because our garbage that we ship out of state would be 41% lighter. So it wouldn't cost so much to ship. I think it's obviously better for the environment. Food waste generates methane, and the place in Southington that processes the composting or does the composting process generates methane and powers their building with it. So, there are environmental benefits. The compost that they generate is fantastic. I used it on my garden. And if people don't want to have compost come back to them, or, it could certainly be something that the town uses maybe on playing fields or in their, in the meadows. And I think it would also make residents aware of how much of their food is actually wasted. So for all those reasons, I think it would be a really good thing to look into, and I'm happy to do that. I know it's on the food waste is on the legislative calendar for this upcoming session. And I have the name of the woman in West Hartford who is in charge of their composting. So I'd be happy to talk it over with her. I know both Derek Slapp and Mike D'Amico are in favor of this, and feel very strongly that we should push forward. I mean, that the state should be considering things like this, to push forward over time. So I just wanted to put that out there and see what people thought.
I
Yes.
agree. I couldn't agree with you more. We did look into it several years ago, and Blue Earth actually came and spoke to the Green Efforts, but it went to the sidelines. And
Mhm.
I think getting it going again makes 100% sense. I'm with you on it.
Great.
So we did look into it a little bit after we had met with Blue Earth. We did put it on hold a little bit because there was a lot of changes going on at the state at the time. So West Hartford's pilot program is actually funded through the state. It's a
Right.
DEP grant, and it's also a very limited area. It's only maybe a
A few
dozen
streets.
blocks in West
Right.
Hartford are actually part of the program. It's something that we will look into. It's just given what is available currently. And it's not, and not knowing the cost of a townwide program, the participation we get and everything like that. Has to be fleshed out and everything. We're also waiting to see what the results of the pilot programs that were funded by the state are, because those just started, I think in the fall or something. So it's on the list. We're starting with a pilot program at Westwoods to see whether it will actually be a reduction in solid waste pickups or a net. If we had, so currently Westwoods has 2 solid waste pickups a week. The hope is that that gets down to 1 solid waste pickup, 1 composting pickup. It would kind of net out, I believe, at Westwoods, and then if that is successful, we'd probably expand it to the other elementary schools. And then that kind of gets kids learning about and focusing on composting in school, and then they're likely to be interested in it at home. So part of that is getting buy-in from the students who would then be interested in doing it at home. A number of years ago, the town did sell composting bins at a discounted rate. I think it was through the Green Efforts Committee. It was
Yeah, that was when I was on.
more than 10 years ago, maybe.
No, only 10.
No, it was only okay. I remember going through all the
Long
stuff
I've
on
been
my
on
desk.
this thing.
Okay. But that's also limited to you can only compost certain things at your house. Not everyone has the space to compost, and not everyone has the time or ability to compost. So it's something that we will look into. It's just not something we're looking at immediately due to unknown costs and unknown
Well, I know in West
results.
Hartford, they're measuring what.
Right,
they're
they also
doing
have a-
those metrics. So.
Right. They also have a special you have to have a special bag for the composting, so they can weigh the
Right.
bag separately. So that's
Right.
something that requires a whole nother planning process as well. So we just haven't looked into it in depth in the last year or two.
Well, I would be happy to look into it when and if you're ready.
We're really hoping to get the most bang for our buck getting the schools going, because if you
Right.
think about how much waste those kids create and the cafeteria itself creates. So hopefully that's a really good start.
Mhm.
Well, so
Totally.
when I met with Tara, she showed me a video that she had done. She stood at the garbage can and did a video of 1 minute of what went into the garbage can. It was unbelievable what kids were throwing away.
Mhm.
Unreal. Everybody is expected to take an apple. I will tell you that 99% of those apples ended up in the trash with either no bite out of it or maybe 2 bites.
Mm.
It was unbelievable what I saw. And then even though they had recycle bins, no one was taking anything out. It was all going in there, and it was something else. I said, wow, we've got to share this. She says, well, there can be some sensitivity issues around, seeing that. We don't want to, be the hardcore. And I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, this is, this is big, what's happening.
Yeah.
I think we should gather information. I don't know. And simultaneously be gathering the information and not waiting. This is a major crisis.
Yeah, I agree.
Bree,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is John. You
Hi.
had mentioned about buckets that were given to your house or brought to your house,
Right.
and I received one as well. Although I don't use it because I compost in my backyard. But do you have any information about how successful that is right now in town?
I don't. I haven't done any more research than, the little bit I presented this evening. I can certainly, I do know my next door neighbor uses it. You see these little green buckets. Blue Earth is the people that we're contracting with. So I'll find out how many people in Farmington are using this service.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find out from Blue Earth, what has been the success rate, if you will, from because they didn't do a very big announcement. They simply dropped off buckets and see who picked it up.
Well, no, in my case, I called Blue Earth. I said, I'd like to use your service. There's a certain charge for it, and that's how you get the green bucket. So I'm not sure what green buckets.
Given the
you know.
cost, I assume it's very successful for the people who are signed up for it.
Yeah, and they started out about 10 years ago. I know because they came and talked to my garden club about it. And I thought, well, I compost in my backyard. I don't need this. Well, they do such a much better job of composting than I do in my backyard that, we finally decided, well, this would, and we get 3 bags of compost back at the end of the year. So it works out much better for us in terms of the compost process. But as I said, every 2 weeks I put the green bucket out and they take it away and leave me the bucket back and leave me the little biodegradable bag that goes in the bucket. So, and I'd be happy. I signed up so long ago, I don't remember how much it costs, but I could look into that.
Okay, is there any more discussion on that topic? No, okay. Should we move on to the other item, which is 2024 townwide cleanup?
I've done 0 so far, but it's only February.
Well, I was just gonna say, so articles are due by March 22nd.
Okay.
Just a heads up. So obviously if you can get it to me before then. But obviously you got to set up the sign up Genius and everything like that. So we can put the QR codes in the newsletter. We'll probably have a whole page of environmental stuff because we have to do stuff for the municipal stormwater permitting as well. In the newsletter. So we'll probably put it in there.
As has been my stance on this event from the start, I said that I would head it up, but I'm not into the prize part of it. So somebody else has to shake down the businesses for the prizes, or we will just rely on people's goodwill and excitement over cleaning up and go on from there. So who wants to help?
Stacey, can you remind us what are the specific things that you need help with around all of this?
So if we're going to do the heaviest haul contest, then we need to ask local businesses to donate the prizes.
Hopefully not something that's going to get thrown away.
No,
No,
they're
it's
like
usually,
pizzas.
yeah, they're usually like gift cards. Should have a list from last year.
Yeah. And then this year I'm going to be more organized and ask for a lot more help putting out the signs. And then, Garrett, we need to order the date stickers. Should
Yes.
I do that and get reimbursed, or do I have to ask for permission, or do you want to order them?
If you tell me who you order them from and how many stickers you need.
So last year I didn't order them.
Right.
I used all the old stickers and I cut them all up and I made new numbers.
Right. And it's more of just so we can make, if they need like our tax exempt certificate or something, it's easier that I can just go walk over to finance and they can send it over. When's the last time we bought stickers?
Must have been
Several
2
years
years ago, but
2 years ago.
Yeah, I can figure out where I can get a quote.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it's not gonna rise to the point that we need bids or anything. If you just get a quote and just send it over to me, I can I can work with them to get them paid, and obviously to make sure we're not paying taxes. Because that's the hard part with reimbursement, is sometimes you're paying taxes when we don't need to.
Do we have to make a motion here to spend upwards of whatever dollars on stickers?
I don't think so. We can, because I'm assuming they don't take long to get in. So worst case is we do it in March and they'll still be in a month ahead of time. All of the supplies and signs are at Town Hall in the garage out back. We can either coordinate a time to meet, or I can just throw them in the town car, or throw them in the back of my truck and drop them off at your house. To make them fit, I did break them all down, so all the metal posts are separate from the signs, but
Okay.
they're not hard to reassemble. But it was to make it easier to store everything because we didn't have a ton of space. But everything, including all the extra bags and everything, are at Town Hall. So when we get closer, we'll coordinate getting all that out and everything like that.
Garrett,
Yes, John.
do you have a list of things that we need to buy? Things like bags, those picker-uppers.
I can look.
We should not have to buy anything.
Yeah, I think I bought
1 million bags.
no.
Okay.
We have 4 pickup sites. I think I bought 6 or 8 storage bins, and I think at least 2 of them are just plastic bags, and they weigh like 100 pounds. So we have plenty of bags. The only thing is I can check on the clear bags because I know we used those for the cans last year for the Lions. But I think even then we have smaller ones because we don't necessarily need like the big 55-gallon bags. They can be like a 10 or 20-gallon bag.
So
But
you
I'll
mentioned you mentioned the Lions Club,
Yep.
and I just want to let you know that I have reached out to the Lions Club, and they didn't do anything official, but they did say that they were very willing to help again, and they wanted to get us do some coordination with us to make sure that everything fit in. And one of the things we didn't do last year, but I think would be helpful if we can get their name on the announcements so that people know that they're going to be there picking up cans, and it's cans for charity.
They were on the poster last year.
Yeah, and do we want to just say you can also just bring your cans to the collection points? Because if the Lions are driving around anyways, just a thought.
People can do that. One of the issues last year was getting confused between cans that people are bringing from the house and cans that are
Right.
being picked up on the street.
Right. Okay.
But
All right.
certainly if people want to bring in cans and just drop them off at the Lions Club, they would do that. But I don't think those should be weighed as part of the program.
All right. That's fine. I'm right. Yeah. It's just thought. We can just put in that the Lions are always. We can add in something like the Lions are always accepting cans at the Unionville Lions Club.
Yes.
We can try, but I will tell you that poster is not easy to design, and there's not a lot of extra space. So let's not overpromise. But it depends on, like, does somebody want to be in charge of getting prizes for the heaviest haul, or do we just want to do away with giving prizes for doing something that you should be doing?
I mean, if the task, I don't really know what the project plan looks like. I wasn't involved in this last year. If the task is just calling a preset list of businesses, Garrett, it sounds like, to solicit gift card donations, then that's great. I have questions. I'm happy to do that, but I have questions, so I can take them offline, but I'm happy to make some phone calls if that's really what we're talking about.
Yeah, and we can find the list of the prizes from last year. I think it was mainly local restaurants. I think
It's just like Naples, and then Farmington Jewelers did one last year.
I think Ron's Auto did too.
I know, but I don't think it ever got distributed because the person never picked it up. I think I still have it.
Okay.
Which, so I can reach out to them and be like, hey, this never
Yeah.
distributed. That's on me. Like, I just,
Yeah, you can just yeah. Yeah, it was mainly restaurants, like you said, Farmington Jewelers. And I don't remember, but we've got a list somewhere, so we
Yeah,
can
but
just,
yep.
There are a
Make it a
couple of
to-do
new
list.
restaurants in Unionville that might be approached. And how soon before the event do you need the signs up?
signs go up 2 weeks to 3 weeks before the cleanup. So cleanup day is going to be the 20th of April. Yeah, April 20th. So before the end of March, we usually put them up. Stacy, are we thinking about the same sites as last year?
I think they
I just-
work well.
Yeah, I just have to do the forums with the schools and with recreation. So I just want to double check. I think we've got like a reminder on calendar for the first day in March, but do it now. So all right, that's fine. I just want to double check that the site be the same. So,
Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to help put out those signs.
Okay,
Yeah, me
great.
too. I'd be willing to help.
Awesome.
So I just like to call out Bree for just a second. Bree was one of the people who started the townwide cleanup.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Right.
that was a long time ago.
Brava! It still survived, Bree.
Thank you.
and now
I
you got to
know,
work
it's
on it
great.
again.
It's
How
had a
many
very
signs-
long life.
Sorry.
How
How many signs do you think we have total for the stickers?
How many signs we have?
Yeah, like 50?
I'll count them. I can just go down and count them tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll get you the number.
Yeah, I don't think there's 50. There's probably like 35, but they're double-sided too.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Who is going to do the write-up that's going to go into the newsletter?
I assumed.
I'd be
had-
happy to do that.
Sweet.
So one of the things that I think we need to emphasize, and this is a thing we did a few years ago, and in reality, this is no longer a Farmington cleanup day. It's really almost a full month of cleanup. That the rules that we've set up for people to collect litter basically says is that people can start picking up litter on the 1st of April, and Farmington Cleanup Day is really the day they weigh them in.
Oh, okay. So people can collect it on their at home.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And if you start to think about how much litter can be picked up in 20 days as opposed to 1 day, it dramatically increases the amount of litter people can pick up and time they can devote to it.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
And it also means that if somebody happens to be busy on the day of cleanup, the 21st, I think it is, that they can do an awful lot of litter pickup earlier than that. And
Right.
simply have it be the weighing in. And I know that myself, I've picked up a few bags in the past years, and you get so much done before the cleanup day. And obviously, if you're involved in the working at the stations, you don't really have any time on cleanup day to do that.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to mention too that, Gary and I do own Farmington Jewelers. So
Oh.
when you do get a sign, we'd be happy to put one on our fence and in our store. So just keep that in mind. I'm new to this whole process. But we always are available to help with any town project like this.
It sounds like one prize has already been signed up for.
So to write this
John-
article, oh, sorry, go ahead. If I'm going to write the article, who should I be in touch with about the facts?
I guess look at last year. I mean, it's pretty much going to be last year's
Right.
write-up,
Okay.
right? I mean,
I
you can
mean,
always text me or email me.
Okay.
Can someone share that with her? Garrett, do you have that to share?
I can find it.
It should be archived on the
Yeah, and
website.
Does the town have it on its website? How long do newsletters get kept?
I should probably make a cleanup day folder as well. on the SharePoint. I thought we had one, but I don't see it. So
We tried to use Teams for a while, but I'm not sure that that's really got off the ground.
oh, that's right. I think that's where it was.
Yeah.
How do I get the Teams on here?
I have a question too, Garrett. You mentioned March 22nd for something and I missed that.
Oh, it's the deadline for articles for the spring newsletter.
Thank you.
Oh, I've got. Yep, there's the townwide cleanup stuff.
Do you
in
think that,
Teams.
can I ask a question quickly? Do you think that the anti-idling article could go in there, or do you think it's not appropriate for the spring edition?
I think it's fine. I don't know if it maybe be better for either summer or the fall when school starts up again, because that's really like as we're coming to the summer.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not saying no. I'm just trying to think of like
yeah, I hear you.
when would that's when parents are dropping off the most. Usually, I
Right.
feel like usually towards the spring, everyone's just taking off for sports and everything like that. And then the weather starts getting nice. You're not really. So but you don't have to listen to me, Kay, if you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else we need to discuss for the cleanup?
So Garrett, you'll resend us the link to
Yeah.
where the information is all stored after the meeting.
Yeah, it's on Teams, but I don't think I've sent out anything to anyone recently. So I will I'll resend that. When I send out the minutes, I'll send that, and I'll send out the Adopt a Road folder as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
And thanks, Jen, or do you go by Jennifer? Sorry. For,
Both. I
okay.
really don't mind either.
Thanks for volunteering to do that, because
Yeah.
if I was in charge of it, I would just procrastinate it until it was too late. But I'd be like, sorry.
I don't mind at all. Just keep us posted how we can help. I'm excited that you're organizing all of this, but yeah, just keep us posted on how else we can help.
Great.
Anything else?
No.
So, I guess we're moving to the adjournment. Thank you all for everything, and if we could get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Oh.
Everybody in favor
Aye.
and opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank